Richmond, Virginia, where the James River shaped a capital. Richmond rises beside the James River at the fall line, the place where the broad, tidal waterway meets a rugged shelf of granite and tumbles into rapids. That dramatic geography explains much of the city's story. The falls created a natural stopping point for boats, an ideal crossing place, and later a source of power for mills and factories. From this river setting grew a trading town, a revolutionary meeting place, an industrial center, and the capital of Virginia. Richmond's history begins with the landscape, and the river still gives the city its energy today. For thousands of years before Richmond existed, native peoples lived, traveled, fished, and traded along the James. By the early 1600s, the area lay within the world of the Powhatan chiefdom, near a meeting zone with Siouan-speaking communities farther west. Paths followed the riverbanks, canoes moved through calmer water, and the falls marked an important transition between the coastal plain and the Piedmont. The English would later build roads, warehouses, and neighborhoods across this landscape, but they were entering a place that already had names, communities, and well-established routes. During the 1600s and early 1700s, English settlement pushed upriver from Jamestown. Tobacco became the colony's leading export, and warehouses near the falls connected inland farms with ships bound for the Atlantic. Small landings and settlements developed around Shockoe Creek and the river crossings. This growing economy increasingly depended on enslaved labor, an important reality in Richmond's formation, though only one part of a larger story of geography, commerce, and government. The falls were turning from a boundary into a busy gateway between Virginia's interior and the wider world. In 1737, planter and public official William Byrd II advertised lots in a new town on the hills above the James. He called it Richmond because the view of the river reminded him of Richmond upon Thames in England. The plan was compact, but the location was ambitious. High ground above a navigable river, close to warehouses, roads, ferries, and the falls. The settlement grew steadily as merchants, craftspeople, laborers, and travelers gathered there. What began as a small commercial town would soon become a stage for ideas that changed Virginia and the nation. Richmond's most famous revolutionary moment came on March 23, 1775, inside St. John's Church. Delegates to the Second Virginia Convention met there because the colonial government in Williamsburg was watching political activity closely. Patrick Henry rose to argue that Virginia should prepare for armed resistance to British rule, ending with his celebrated call for liberty. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, George Mason, and Richard Henry Lee were among the leaders present. The speech made the Hilltop Church a national landmark and fixed Richmond firmly in the story of American independence. The Revolution also changed Richmond's political future. Williamsburg, Virginia's colonial capital, was vulnerable to attack from the Chesapeake and sat far from the rapidly growing western counties. In 1779, the General Assembly voted to move the capital to Richmond, and the government began operating there in 1780. The decision placed Virginia's leadership at a more central crossroads of river and road. Richmond was still a modest town, but becoming the capital brought legislators, lawyers, printers, taverns, public offices, and a new sense of importance. A new capital needed a building equal to its ambitions. While serving in France, Thomas Jefferson designed the Virginia state capitol with help from architect Charles Louis Clarisseau. Rather than copy the usual British public buildings, they looked to an ancient Roman temple in Nîmes, France. The result helped introduce monumental classical architecture to the young United States. By 1788, the capitol was ready for the General Assembly. Its white portico, commanding hilltop site, and surrounding square gave Richmond a civic center that remains one of America's most influential public spaces. In the early 1800s, the James River became Richmond's commercial highway. Canals and improved navigation helped boats carry flour, tobacco, coal, iron, timber, and farm goods between the interior and the city's warehouses. Flour mills rose along the rapids, while Shockoe Bottom filled with markets, workshops, hotels, and commission houses. Railroads later extended Richmond's reach in every direction. The same commercial district also included a major domestic slave market, one of the city's most painful historical realities. Together, these networks made Richmond a powerful transportation and trading hub. industry transformed the riverfront as dramatically as Tredegar Iron Works, founded in 1837 beside the canal, grew into one of the largest iron producers in the South. Its workers built railroad equipment, engines, machinery, tools, and cannon. Water power, canal access, skilled labor, and nearby rail lines made the site exceptionally productive. Tredegar's brick buildings and tall furnaces came to symbolize Richmond's industrial strength. The complex survived war and fire, continued operating into the 20th century, and today anchors a historic riverfront where visitors can explore the city's industrial and Civil War history. In 1861, after Virginia seceded from the Union, Richmond became the capital of the Confederacy. Its factories, rail connections, hospitals, warehouses, and political importance made the city central to the Southern War effort. Government departments crowded into offices around Capitol Square, soldiers and civilians filled the streets, and Tredegar supplied much of the Confederacy's heavy ironwork. Union armies repeatedly tried to capture Richmond, and the war placed immense pressure on food, housing, and transportation. For 4 years, the Virginia capital was also the administrative heart of a rebellion fighting to preserve a slaveholding society. Richmond's wartime role ended in fire. On April 2, 1865, Confederate officials and troops began evacuating the city. Orders to destroy military supplies set off flames that spread through warehouses and the business district, leaving blocks in ruins. Union troops entered the following morning and helped restore order. Tredegar survived because its owners secured guards to protect it. President Abraham Lincoln visited Richmond soon afterward, walking through streets that only days earlier had belonged to the Confederate capital. The scene marked both the collapse of the old order and the difficult beginning of a new era. After the Civil War, Richmond rebuilt its streets, businesses, and civic institutions. Freed people established schools, churches, newspapers, mutual aid societies, and political organizations, even as segregation and discrimination narrowed many of the freedoms promised by Reconstruction. One of the city's most remarkable leaders was Maggie L. Walker, a teacher, organizer, newspaper editor, and entrepreneur. She became the first African-American woman in the United States to charter and lead a bank. Her work showed how community organization and business ownership could create opportunity in the face of formidable barriers. By the late 1800s and early 1900s, Richmond was becoming a modern city. Tobacco factories and flour mills operated on an enormous scale. Rail yards connected the capital to national markets, and department stores drew shoppers downtown. In 1888, Richmond opened the first commercially successful electric streetcar system in the United States. Its cars climbed the city's hills and encouraged new neighborhoods beyond the old center. Bridges, parks, schools, newspapers, theaters, and later radio stations reshaped everyday life. Richmond was no longer simply a river port. It had become a regional center of finance, industry, transportation, and culture. Richmond today is a city where history and outdoor life share the same landscape. The Virginia state capitol still crowns Shockoe Hill, while the restored canal, Tredegar, and riverside trails reveal layers of transportation and industry. The James River Park system protects islands, forests, and whitewater rapids in the heart of the city. Museums, universities, galleries, restaurants, and music venues animate distinctive neighborhoods from Church Hill and Jackson Ward to Manchester and the Fan. Old warehouses have found new uses, and public spaces continue to change as Richmond considers how its history should be remembered. More than anything, Richmond is a capital shaped by movement. Water racing over the falls, boats and trains carrying goods, citizens gathering to debate independence, workers building an industrial city, and generations remaking neighborhoods after war and change. Its story includes achievement and injustice, destruction and renewal. But no single chapter explains the whole place. From St. John's Church and the Capitol to Tredegar and the James River Rapids, Richmond rewards anyone willing to look closely. The city remains what its geography first made possible, a meeting place between regions, ideas, and eras.